Brighton Theatre of the Air presents The Boy Who Tasted Himself, written by Peter Gardner.
It's a bit of a range. If you've got a north wind coming off the sea, then forget it. I'd not rate the course much at all, but Sheila loves to go into the city in the evening. And bad golf's better than no golf. Right? Anyway, everyone in? Right. We all set for drinks? Right. OK, chaps. This is strictly off the books, so no notes. We're here to hear a case study, then spitball some ideas. We've got a drug with potential. Don't know what yet, but if we can't find a market, we shelve it. If we can't minimise the risk, we shelve it. Anyone who comes up with a viable market strategy gets a weekend in Belize with my mistress. So to walk us through the case study is Dr. Brandt.
Thank you, yes. I have to stress the effectiveness of this drug was unprecedented. Frankly, I'd rather this be purely trial-based for at least...
Dr. Brandt, could you please proceed to the case study?
Right. OK, I'll refer to the patient with just his first name. Adrian, 26, 5'8", 9 stone. Caucasian male, history of anxiety. At the time of trial, was on 40 milligrams of citalopram daily. No reason to believe that he had any involvement with the resultant side effects. Adrian was, well, I'll play the tape. He gives a better sense of his state of mind than I do. This was at the exploratory phase of the trial. So, Adrian, can you walk me through your medical history?
OK, sure. I guess I got a bunch of stuff. Low blood pressure, fainting spells, anemia, all that. But that all comes from my eating disorder, and that all comes from the dyscusia. But I guess you know that.
Sorry, but what is dyscusia?
It's a distortion of the taste buds. The sensory system can't communicate properly with the brain, and so, well, I'll let Adrian describe it better. Can you walk me through your dyscusia?
I got glandular fever when I was about 7. Doctors couldn't figure it out. But afterwards, everything I ate tasted like rusted metal. Never went away. I've not enjoyed food since.
Dyscusia isn't normally associated with glandular fever.
They think it mixed with chicken pox. I had that too that summer. I don't know the in and outs. I just know that afters, I didn't like chocolate anymore. Rest of the kids thought I was a freak, thought I was contagious. We moved schools because of it. But from then on, I was the kid that the others didn't trust. They knew there was something off with me.
And you think of it that way too? Something wrong with you?
Yeah, something broken. Wouldn't you?
And how would you say this affected your development?
I ate all my vegetables at least. All tasted the same anyhow. But eating was a chore. Felt unnatural. I'd chew up a load of chips, pizza, whatever. It was all just a mush. Bitter. I hated the feel of a full mouth. All this stuff squished between my teeth, lolling round my tongue. If it weren't for my mum's stern gaze, I'd have spat it all out. I still stuffed a load in my pockets to flush later.
Yes, you were saying about skipping meals.
I'd give away my lunches, helping over the other lads at least.
And now?
It's a process. My GP's file on me needs its own hard drive. Brittle bones, early onset arthritis. Without protein shakes, I figure my heart would have just popped ages ago. Remembering to getting enough calories to survive is on my mind all day. I know I need to eat, but when you hate food, hate eating, there's always an excuse not to. Hampers the dating life a tad. I don't go to a restaurant. I don't snack. I don't accept a slice of birthday cake or pack of crisps down the pub.
I'll stop you right there, Dr. Brandt. Diet drug. Most effective ever. Not even at the consumer level. We get it regulated patent it, and go straight to the health services.
Anti-obesity surgery free.
Way ahead of you, Leroy. We define it as life-saving. Launched into the American market, and every medical insurer has to come to us. Now, what's that worth? GDP of Spain, probably.
No, we didn't replicate his dyscusia. We cured it.
Come again?
It was all outlined in my briefing paper.
I'm more of a visual learner, Miss Brent. So take her step by step, eh? Now there's a good girl.
Right. Formula X uses gene-programmed stem cells to stimulate the replication of cells, specifically cells used by the sensory functions. The difficulties were that sensory functions are the most difficult to measure with animal testing, tapeworm, rats, etc. And human testing was too risky at such an exploratory phase of testing, especially if we were to apply Formula X in regards to the effectiveness of sight, hearing. That's where Adrian comes in.
Who cares if he can taste right?
And the lab itself wasn't beholden to the laws of the FDA.
So we set the lab up on an oil rig just inside international waters. Thanks to my main lawyer man, Brett over there.
Whoop! Nice.
And considering his condition, Adrian was willing to take the risk. We moved to stage 1, daily injections of Formula X directly into tissue, the tongue. In 48 hours, we noticed evidence of cell regrowth within taste buds. By day 6, the subject could specify the difference from 2 taste samples, bitter and sweet, in the majority of tests. By day 10, this was still the case, but he hadn't developed any fidelity past that. And still the case by day 20. We decided to cease the programme and let the subject return home. We took tissue samples and arranged a 30-day check-in for a period of 6 months.
Ah, hit a brick wall, eh?
Yeah, the initial results were intriguing, though. I endeavoured to resume deep analysis of tissue samples, and that was before I got a call to my personal number.
Jill, I'm down the chippy. I can taste vinegar. It's amazing. I've been splashing half a bottle on each chip. They think I'm nuts, but I can't get enough of it.
Jill?
We got him straight back in and ran the full battery. He was right. Pronounced sensitivity to the taste buds compared to baseline. Now he could accurately identify sweet, sour, bitter, salty and umami.
Umami? That your mistress, Chairman?
No, she's Portuguese. Carry on, darling.
We kept him in. It seemed that the cells were now self-replicating, forming a more complex relationship with the nervous system, and thus more fidelity. Day 36. OK, Adrian, can you tell me a little about dinner?
Hunter's chicken with sweet potato mash and tender stem broccoli. The broccoli was fried in chili oil. The bacon around the chicken was Canadian maple, all crispy and tangy.
You seem to know a lot of specifics.
Oh, I watch them cook it. That's my new favourite thing. I can't cook worth a damn, of course, but watching them go through the whole thing, the ceremony, the smells.
And this was for Ulrich, chef?
We had people flown in.
French, I hope.
No.
The chicken was tender, just right. The sweet potato mash and sweet chilli mixed in. He made it lumpy, just the way I like it. And for dessert, sticky toffee pudding, like. It's got this crystallised sugar crust to it. Just melts as soon as you put it in your mouth. So sweet it gives you a little shudder. Know what I mean? So sweet it sends shivers down your spine.
Yes, I think so. So, tell me about the condiments you have back in your room.
Chef told you about my little stash, yeah? Yeah, OK. I got a bottle of pretty much everything. Ketchup, mustard, mayo, soya. I like to splash a little on my tongue and just let it lay there till the feeling dies down. Then I choose another bottle. Do it for hours, making up for lost time, eh, Doc?
By this stage, his sense of taste was so pronounced he could detect variances in 1 parts per 100, way past average.
Leroy, talk to me. You've got those bug eyes.
Boss, I've been Googling that Dyscusia thing. Very rare condition. Tiny market. Not worth the packaging, but what about this? Connoisseurs, wine, cheese? You want to bring your fancy wine appreciation to the next level? Then we have the supplement for you.
Connoisseurs? Harm Industries is a Fortune 500. We're not making products for a few hundred connoisseurs. We're making it for the billion cretins on a street corner. Think bigger. The snack industry. Little sprinkle of this in their cheese and onion par exemplaire, like MSG on steroids.
I fear we're getting off track. Have you gone through the conclusions of my report?
Oh, conclusions. Can we sell it, Miss Brent?
Not with the current side effects. Day 48. Can you tell me why you've been feeling more anxious recently?
Right, yeah. So the heating's been going real good. I suppose it's pretty obvious how much weight I've put on. I barely need any flavourings now. Just a tiny dash of anything is enough. Most people would think it was bland. Quite a turnaround, eh? It's just, I've started to notice. When I open a door, I can taste metal. It feels like it's in my mouth, but it's not. And just now, when I came in, you had a cheese pickles sandwich for lunch. Afters, you rubbed on some of that alcohol cleansing gel.
I did. How did you know?
I shook your hand.
We took skin scrapings from his fingertips. The Formula X cells were present.
Well, how's that possible?
Best guess is they were propagated through the nervous system, specifically to cluster points, other areas of the body that are more sensitive to stimuli.
I'm not sure how we can sell this.
Finger licking goods? I got nothing.
I must stress the injections of Formula X had long since ceased. The cells were now replicating organically. We had no element of control. All we could do was monitor. Day 62. How are you today, Adrian?
Not great, Doc. I can feel every inch of me now. When I pull on a shirt, I can taste the dull starch of cotton. There's a rough, musty flavour of my jeans, my polyester sheets, the sticky leather of my chair. I mean, Christ, I have to change my underwear every few hours. I venture outside, and I can taste the coarse salt of the sea air all over me. I feel raw, like I'm a giant open wound. Going to the toilet has become almost intolerable.
Okay, boss, and I'm just spitballing.
He can taste his own crap, Leroy. There's no selling this. All right, Miss Brent. How did this end up?
We continued monitoring, but, well, best you just watch. By this point, the patient wouldn't leave his bed, though there was no problem with his motor functions. Day 75. Adrian, can you tell me how you feel? Adrian, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you explain to me what you're experiencing?
I'm tasting the warm copper of my blood. I'm tasting the chill air as it expands the tiny balloons in my lungs. I'm tasting the sinewy gristle of my heart as it pumps. I am tasting the salt in my ear ducts. I taste my eyes. I'm tasting the slow dirge of my liver as it filters out impurities. I taste the burning acid of my gut. I taste the little battery shock of electrons firing in my brain. I taste my thoughts, Doctor. I taste my thoughts.
Get a shot! Get a shot! We had to keep him under sedation. Soon after that, he stopped responding completely.
A coma?
He won't respond to any external stimuli, but the MRI shows that if anything, his brain is too active.
So he's stuck in a coma, and it's all our fault. Tricky legal sitch to be in. Brett, you're all over that.
Yep.
So we can't sell it, that's for sure. Well, pack it up for now. Keep it on file, and maybe something will shake out of it down the road. All in all, the R&D only cost us a cheeky $500,000. Worth a punt, eh? Thanks for all your hard work, Miss Brandt.
Do you use moisturiser?
Oh, yes. Keeps age at bay, eh? Why you ask?
I have to go.
Miss Brandt, it's not contagious, is it?
I have to run some tests.
Miss Brandt! Miss Brandt! What's happening to us?
The Doctor was performed by Eileen Archer, Adrian by Wayne Liversidge. The Chairman was performed by Guy Dixon, Brett and Leroy by Matthew Shelton Jones, recording, editing and sound design by Adam House for Brighton Theatre of the Air.